You serve on the House Armed Services Committee.
Yes, absolutely. It's a privilege to serve there.
And I think you're also on the Ag. Are you on the Ag Committee?
I'm on the Ag, Armed Services, and Small Business, yes.
When you look at what's going on as far as rebuilding our military, and we're spending a lot of money on that, and I look at Trump as a guy who says, look, I understand that we're overspending. I understand what the deficits happen to be. But if I'm in a business, I understand that I'm taking a hotel that is dilapidated, and I know I've got to push the money in there. I don't want to spend it, but I got to get it up to where it needs to be, and then we can look at cutting back. Am I off on that?
No, and the bottom line is, if you take defense is the biggest item in the discretionary budget, but if you take all of defense out, we still run at a deficit. And the bottom line is our interest and the money that it brings in, and the main thing is lives. You know, we lost over 100 lives a year before we started this build back of our military in training accidents. Planes falling out of the sky, tanks rolling over, ships crashing into each other. And we've not had that same level since we've reinvested in our military and the training and equipment that we need to keep these guys safe.
I don't think there's anything more disheartening to hear stories about our Air Force or Navy or Marines having to go to a boneyard to pick up spare parts. I mean, if I'm a Russian, I'm sitting here laughing.
And we've gotten out of that, and thank God, and hopefully we'll continue that. We just passed the NDAA. We'll go to conference on that as soon as we get back and get that done so we can get the next year of investment, and the top-line number is where we need to be to keep our soldiers and sailors.
When are you back in session?
We go back in September.
Is it a foregone conclusion, Congressman Trent Kelly is with me, is it a foregone conclusion that the wheels of impeachment will begin when you get back?
They probably will. You know, that's the Judiciary Committee.
Yeah.
And they don't have time to deal with this immigration problem that, first of all, they said was not a crisis, and then all of a sudden it is a crisis, but it's all done wrong. But instead of worrying about dealing with a crisis on the border, we've got them worrying about impeachment and having Mueller to testify. Jerry Nadler needs to do his job, and that's fix this immigration problem rather than taking all his time trying to deal with stuff that doesn't matter, is foregone and already decided.
The president yesterday made more news. I think Cuccinelli made that announcement. The announcement about, look, if you're coming here just for the taxpayers and you're going to come here and illegally, and the only thing you do, not look for a job or anything else, is you're going to come here. You're here illegally and you're on the rolls. You can't come here to take advantage of our taxpayers. Here's a little bit of what Mr. Cuccinelli said yesterday.
Today, USCIS has issued a rule that encourages and ensures self-reliance and self-sufficiency for those seeking to come to or to stay in the United States. Under the rule, a public charge is now defined as an individual who receives one or more designated public benefits for more than 12 months within any 36-month period. This final rule has no impact on humanitarian-based immigration programs for refugees and asylees.
That's made some people on the left angry, of course.
You know, the confusing part is we have ports of entry, and if you're truly claiming asylum, which I think the number is like over 90% are not granted asylum because they don't have an asylum need. But why not come to a port of entry? It's like saying I'm sorry after you get caught. You're not sorry. You're sorry you got caught. So come to the port of entry, do it the right way, and if you do that, then we've got laws to take care of. But when you get caught illegally, then it's not the time to holler.
Heard one story yesterday, and I forgot who it was. They chased a carload of illegals coming across. And I mean, it was a long, arduous chase. And as soon as they finally caught them, they all said, I'm coming for asylum. It's almost like you can rob a bank, but you can, at the end of if you get caught, you can say, safe. I'm safe, please.
I was going to get a loan.
Yeah. It is amazing. In 8 years of the Obama administration, how much we've bastardized the laws of this country. And I asked Will earlier this morning, when you look at what happened in the state of Mississippi that's made national news, what are we supposed to do? If you're here breaking the laws, what do they want us to do?
you're either a country of laws or you're not a country of laws. You know, and the problem is right now, if you don't like the rules, then Jerry Nadler needs to quit dealing with Mueller and quit dealing with impeachment of the president and put solutions, good common sense solutions on the table. We need immigrant workers, but they need to come here legally. They need to come here the right way. And, you know, and I have compassion, but at the end of the day, are we going to become a sanctuary state? Is Morton a sanctuary city? What are we going to do? We either enforce laws or you don't. If you don't like the laws, you change them. But you know what? Our Judiciary Committee and our Speaker of the House have no intent of bringing anything to the floor. All they want to do is use politics and use it for politics.
Were you a little bit surprised yourself about how many of this was happening in the state of Mississippi? Because we never hear we're a border state. We're a southern state, I should say, with coast. But you never hear about a immigration problem in the state of Mississippi. So a lot of people were kind of surprised.
I think it took a lot of people off guard. You know, and the one thing I do hope they do, I hope they follow up with the businesses, because that's unfair to our other businesses who are doing it right. We met with some of those yesterday who are doing it right, who are hiring the right folks. And so when you have a business take advantage, there needs to be consequences for them also.
According to Mr. Hurst, who was on yesterday, that is probably going to happen.
Absolutely. And he can't talk about ongoing investigations. As a former prosecutor, I know that, and everybody wants all the answers, but he's doing a great job.